It's ready.
Hi, my name is Leon Hosea, and I hope you enjoy my story on the Parker Daniel Show.
Good evening to everybody. Welcome to the Parker Daniel Show. My name is Anthony Parker. I would like to welcome you to another edition of just that, the Parker Daniel Show. But before I get off into my guest, all the way from Houston, I would like to tell my subscribers to continue to subscribe. Hit the like button, comment, share, follow, and all that good stuff, man. That's going to help out in every way. You just don't know. So, everything's been going on pretty good. It's a Sunday. Went to my mom's house, got me something to eat. She cooked some ribs and potato salad. Very good. So, as I digress, like I always do, let me get back on the track and tell you the nature of the interview, which is to bring you a gentleman all the way from Houston. Leon, are you here with me today?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're gonna bring you Leon, and I'm gonna sit back. Sometimes I get all involved in the shows and whatnot, but then there are other times where I let the guests talk to me and to us, and let us know about themselves. And that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna let Leon take the show, and if I feel need to jump in, I'll do just that. So, Leon, you have the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, how you lost your sight, and all that good stuff. I'm gonna start on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, my name is Leon Hosea. I lost my eyesight back in 2014 due to glaucoma and diabetic retinopathy. And it's been a long journey to get from that point to this point. A long journey. But here we are now.
Tell us about that journey.
Well, when I first lost my eyesight, everything just went black, and it was just scary. Not having no one to turn to, because I thought my life was over, but I didn't know blindness, I could lead a full life beyond blindness, How can I put this? Just going through this journey and so many roadblocks and overcoming them, it's been one of the most exciting things in my life. And just taking it a step at a time.
Tell the people how you lost your sight.
Well, me not taking care of myself with the diabetes at the time, just working and stressing out, working as an aircraft mechanic is kind of a stressful job. And it's just, okay. Mm-hmm.
So you were working as an aircraft, what were you doing in that position?
Fixing major workloads on the airplane, airplane breaks down, taking engines apart, checking them out, sending them over to GE or Rolls Royce.
Wow.
Yeah, and just major inspections, test flights, which was kind of exciting and scary at the same time, because something goes wrong, you die.
Wow. And how long were you doing that?
I say for about over 5 years, but I've been at Continental/United for over 10.
Mm-hmm. And what other jobs did you have prior to that?
I was a ramp agent at Continental, loading the bags on the planes.
Okay.
Do before I got into somebody told me I should go for an aircraft mechanic, and I just looked into it, and I was in love with it ever since.
Okay. And you said that you lost your sight to diabetes. You weren't eating healthy. Is that safe to say, or is it something that runs in your family?
Something that runs in my family. I've been diagnosed with diabetes since I say 2002 when I was in high school. When I was a freshman in high school.
Mm. And how was it? You going blind. How was that situation? Tell us about that moment.
Oh man, it was just so scary, and just not knowing what's going to happen next. It's just nobody was. I wasn't able to turn to nobody because I didn't know anybody else that was blind. I felt so alone.
Really?
Until I I heard about the Lighthouse of Houston, and that's what it really opened up my eyes. No pun intended. But
right. So what did they do to help you gain your confidence and give you the courage that you need to pursue?
They had a class called what was it called? Acceptance to blindness. That was the first class of its kind at the school. I'm at the Lighthouse. I'm sorry, and being one of the first participants, it just told me that there is a life beyond blindness.
Right.
We went over the 5 stages of grief, and that last week was the acceptance part of it. And Miss Angie, God bless her. She's no longer at the Lighthouse. She's moved on to somewhere else, but they still do the class. But they really, really, sit down with you and go over every little step and what to do.
Okay. And did you learn like Braille or any computer skills while you were there?
Well, excuse me, I didn't learn Braille at the Lighthouse. I learned it at my Texas Workforce Commission counselor's office. They had a little class. The vocational rehab teacher, Miss Lily Guillory, she's the one that showed me a little bit of Braille and gave me a book to take home to do it. I'm not proficient in it yet, not just yet. Takes time. But I ended up going to the Crisco School for the Blind in Austin, Texas. That's where I got my computer skills.
Okay. So are you up on your computer skills, or are you still learning?
I'm still learning, but while I was a couple years ago, I'm not there anymore. I'm not an expert at it, but I know a few tricks up. I have a few tricks up my sleeve.
Okay. So what? I want to go back to the diabetes. What can you tell individuals now about taking care of themselves and doing the right thing as far as being healthy due to the fact that they had diabetes? Because like as you said, you lost your sight due to diabetes.
Well, I implore people to always get checked at least twice a year. Because when I was diagnosed with it in 2002, I was a football player in high school, so it surprised me that I was that I had it. Like I was in great shape. I'm not big or nothing. But the doctor told me, said it runs in your family, especially if you have 2 parents that are diabetic. 90% of the chance you're going to get it.
So what were some of the warning signs that you were going blind?
That I was going blind?
Yes.
Well, I remember back in, I say towards the end of 2013, I couldn't read fine print anymore. That was the problem. I kind of figured out something was wrong when I could read little Facebook messages. I couldn't read it anymore. Or words under people's photos on Facebook, I couldn't read it anymore.
And that prompted
something is,
That prompted you to go to the doctor then?
No, because I thought, because I had contacts in my eye. I think, maybe I needed a new prescription. And so I put it off until I say about May of 2014. But by that time, it was kind of too late. I went to the doctor. Oh, your eyes are bleeding. I'm like, oh, that really gave me a kind of a scare. I'm like, what you mean? My eyes are bleeding. And I say, a couple days after he said that, my left eye had went blurry. And then a couple days later, it just went completely black. And that following July, it did it. My right eye did it, but it kind of did it slowly. But the day I finally went totally blind was, I say, middle of July 2014, where I just saw the last of my vision just go out within a couple of hours.
Oh, okay. So at that time, when the days afterwards until you decided to go to Lighthouse, what did you do? It was about 2 years almost 2 years after that point when I decided to go. They had the courage to go to the Lighthouse, because at first my Texas Workforce Commission counselor here wanted me to go to the Crisco School for the Blind. I actually took the tour in October 2015 before I actually went to the Lighthouse. Still being, still new to blindness, I wasn't psychologically ready to go. And at what point, what got you ready after?
the lighthouse.
Okay.
It built my confidence up.
Okay. You speak with a man with a great deal of confidence, and as I move on to the topic of what are you doing now, tell the audience what exactly are you doing now to persevere and show that you've overcome your blindness and what have you?
Well, I attend college at Houston Community College as an engineering student.
Okay.
You know, not to really pat myself on the back.
You can pat yourself on the back.
I am the first blind engineering student at the school's history.
Okay. Are you finding the courses rather hard, or is it something because of the fact you have experience?
It's challenging. It's just finding a way because, you know, being the first blind student, when my school counselor looked at me, she said, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to be an engineering student." Like, she was like, "Okay." She tried to veer me to another curriculum. Like, no, I love engineering.
Right.
Coming from that background of mechanics.
And that's what I was going to say.
With my dad being a mechanic and me doing aircraft mechanics, I wanted to do it. I love that kind of stuff.
And I'm glad. I'm glad you didn't let them deter you, because I've been dealing with that situation as a blind person. They've have a tendency to try to put you into things that they want you to be in, you know, and that's not a good thing. So I'm glad that you persevered with that. So tell the audience again, you know, what else are you doing? I mean, because that's a big challenge to take, and I'm quite sure you're going to overcome that. What else are you doing?
Well, I started my own businesses last year. You know, my notary and my I want to say it's a merchandise / counseling service called VIP, Visually Inspired People.
Okay, all right. And how's that doing?
I'm going just fine. You know, I'm working on a domain name for it right now, and pretty soon the merchandise will be rolling out. So look out for it pretty soon.
Well, look, I definitely will be checking that out, and I'm glad to have had the opportunity to talk to you and share these things with you. Once you get it up and rolling, and you know, making moves with it, I want you to call me back, and we'll talk more about it and tell the, you know, the people what you have going, and hopefully you know promote it in the way that you want us to do it, and we'll be glad to do that for you. So with that being said, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I will do that.
With that being
sorry about the truck, my people are leaving.
Okay, and give the name of the notary business again.
Ideal Notary, EYEDEAL.
I like those. I like that, man. The VIP and the Ideal. That's very creative. So as we close, can you do you have any positives that you can leave the people with? Because you've gone through a great deal. I mean, and then coming from actually working as an engineer on an aircraft service, you know that, and then to end up being blind, you had to overcome a great deal. So, in closing, give the people something positive.
Yes, well, blindness is not the end of the world. You know, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is. I guarantee it. You just got to have confidence in yourself and know that you can do everything. You know, just win up. You know, like I was telling somebody the other day about the Bird Box movie, we would survive.
That's true, man. That's worse. Those are words to live by. And again, I'm glad I had the opportunity to talk with you. And as I close, I want to tell my subscribers to continue to subscribe. You get shows like this from very inspiring people. See, I did that. Very inspiring people. This guy is a trailblazer also. He's doing his thing. I'm proud to have really had the chance to meet and talk with him. And this is not just tongue in cheek or whatever. It's really coming from the heart. So with that being said, again, call us back whenever you have some your thing going, and we'll be glad to feature you on it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks again, Leon.
No problem. Everybody keep your head up.
Okay, thanks a lot.